Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am so excited to be sharing this journey with you, but it is my first appointment with Clifton Dental. Now, you may not know, I'm actually terrified of the dentist, and I haven't been in 14 years. So when the folks over at Clifton Dental approached me to, do this mouth transformation, I was like, I am terrified, number one, but it is too good of an opportunity to pass up that I really wanted to take you guys along this journey with me, showing you from beginning to end, because I think there's people out there that are like me that are, maybe have anxiety about the dentist, but they've got things that they want to fix in their mouth and don't really know how they're gonna approach that. I'm obviously a little bit anxious about what we're going to find in my mouth. So today, I believe when I get into the clinic, we are going to be checking out my mouth and making sure that there's no major problems there. I'm not very hopeful on that. And then from there, also seeing the orthodontist, who is going to maybe, I'm guessing, do some molds of my mouth, so they can kind of see what the projected potential plan is for Invisalign. So you guys, back in the day when I last, went to the dentist and orthodontist, I actually had headgear. I never wore it. I never wore it because I have this overbite right there, and I never wore it. And then every other option I was given was like, they wanted me to like break my jaw, and I just remember being young and being like, that sounds so intense, because it was like break my jaw and then they had to like wire it shut while it like fused together, and it didn't sound like an option that I was willing to take. So I'm really curious to hear what the folks over at Clifton Dental tell me, what the course of action is, because the last time I went down this path, it sounded really painful. Anyways, the other thing that I'm really interested in talking to them about is this guy. So if you guys haven't been following me for some time, you may not remember that back in April, just before I moved over here to the UK, I got into a car accident. So it was a year in April, and I have really bad TMJ. So when I went back home to Canada this past April, I got this guard made, and basically I wear it and then it actually stops me clenching in my sleep. So I guess I have questions, because if I start doing this Invisalign treatment, wouldn't this need to be changed? And then what's kind of the plan of action for that? So yeah, that's kind of just a brief overview, and I thought I would just catch you up on everything before I head into the clinic. So I'm just gonna finish getting ready, and then I'm gonna show you what I get up to at the clinic, what it looks like, what the process is like, and then chat with you after. So I'm gonna go get ready. Let's go.
Okay, so the plan today is basically just to run through a few things from a tooth straightening point of view, if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
So then we work 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7.
Because I'm afraid when I get the molds that it's gonna pull this out.
And rest your head back for me first. Next slide. Okay, so this takes a bit of time.
Oh, that's crazy.
So if you turn it back, you had the headgear, you had the brakes, like you had the fixed ones. Like
No, so they wanted me to do headgear first.
Other bits that you don't particularly need.
Yeah.
So it won't let me do too much with it at the moment. But you can see that actually the headgear might have worked a little bit. So the bite is not absolutely textbook, but they're a lovely set of teeth.
Up there and
Nice
yellow
set
back
of
there.
teeth here. Do my chest test the right hand side.
Okay, so it's the lower left on that side.
Yeah, so yeah, I knew it was this side.
Yeah, and then the upper
All right, you guys, it is actually the next day. But I had my appointment yesterday at Clifton Dental, and I'm so excited to tell you that my situation isn't as bad as I thought. How amazing is that? So, not that I'm recommending that to anybody, but I totally thought that there was going to be like major work that needed to be done in my mouth, considering I haven't gone to the dentist in 14 years. There's actually only 2 cavities that they're wanting to touch up. They're kind of worried about, so I've got an appointment on the 7th, I believe it is, which I am, not gonna lie, I'm a little bit like anxious for, but the team made me feel so at ease, and I think because they knew that I was anxious about coming in, they were kind of able to ease me through that, and also let me know of some options I can take if necessary. So anyways, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. You guys would have seen the footage where I got into the clinic and I got to get my mouth like kind of assessed and stuff. So we actually What we did first is when I got there, I believe what we started with is like they took like a mold of my mouth, or they like looked around my mouth with like, you know, the little instruments and stuff and kind of assessed from there. And then they took like almost like this, like, I don't even know what to call it, but like it was like this instrument that was like taking like digital images of my mouth. Because if you guys have had any dental work done before, you may have remembered, or you may have experienced like having to do like a mold of your mouth. And then it's like, well, for me personally, whenever I have to get a mold of my mouth made, I'm like drooling everywhere, and it's like so sticky. And then you're like, oh my gosh, is this gonna take my fillings out? Like, as they're like yanking on your mouth. There was none of that with like this little device. The other cool thing is that, again, if you've ever had molds that are made of your mouth, you know, like, so they make the mold of your mouth and then they send it off, but then if that mold wasn't done right, then they have to do the whole process of it again. That was a mouthful. Literally. But there was none of that, because when the orthodontist was like using this thing to go around my mouth and get the images of it, she could kind of see what areas she needed to go over again, which was like so cool. Anyways, yeah, so there's like no mess. I guess it's like even more sustainable to do it with a machine like that, because they're not wasting any of like the mold product. And also they were telling me that when a orthodontist or dentist takes molds of your mouth, they would then have to like store these molds somewhere. So now that they don't have to do that, which is really cool. So literally the process was so simple, so easy. And once she had that, I guess, simulation of my mouth, it was literally within minutes that they were able to show me what my smile will potentially look like if I move forward with the course of Invisalign. So that was really cool. Now from this part, I guess, they then send those images off to Invisalign, and Invisalign comes back to us with like a more detailed and more accurate vision of what my course of treatment will look like. So I believe that's just going to be in a couple of weeks, and I have to go back to the clinic in a couple of weeks to deal with the 2 cavities that I have, or that they want to repair. I can't remember if it's like I have the 2 cavities or if they just see 2 cavities that they would like to repair so it doesn't turn into anything. The other really cool thing, obviously this is going to be different case by case, but I've mentioned to you guys before I filmed this part of the video that I was in a car accident in Canada, and I have, where did I put the guard? I showed it to you before, but I have that mouth guard, and they're actually able to make me a new mouth guard when the time comes. So it's not like I have to fly back to Canada for that. I can do all of this in one place, which is amazing. The other really cool thing is that they were so diligent about asking me my previous like medical and dental history, and even though I haven't been to the dentist in 14 years, I did just get that mouth guard for my TMJ made in April. And at that point they were like, well, when was your last x-ray? And I said April, and they actually was like, you know what, we don't feel safe making you have this next x-ray right now, so why don't we just see if we can get those records from your TMJ x-ray in Canada, and then we don't have to do that again. And I just loved that, because I feel like sometimes people aren't that precautious, and not to focus on the negative things that could potentially happen, but I love when I can see someone is caring for me the way that I would care for myself. So we took like the images of my mouth, we saw what the potential course of action is. I then met with the dentist, and he took a look at my mouth, and they told me that I've got those 2 areas that they would like to focus on. And then I made an appointment, and then I go back on the 7th. So it was really easy. I won't lie to you, not all of the anxiety is gone about the dentist appointment. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was walking down the street yesterday and the thought came in my head, and I was like, I'm gonna have something drilling in my mouth, oh my gosh. And I started focusing on it, and I'm really trying to just put it out of my head until the appointment time. But I do feel like they're gonna be patient with me, and I feel like it's gonna go good. It's gonna go good. I know it's gonna go good. The last thing that I wanted to share with you guys is they actually email you over the pictures of what your mouth is looking like now and what it will look like when you finish the treatment. So I just want to share that with you guys now. Okay, so I've got the website up here. Just gonna plug in the password. There we are. All right, there we are. So this is my mouth now. Crazy, huh? And I know a lot of you are probably thinking like, your mouth isn't that bad, but do you see how this side goes up here and then this part here, I don't know if you can see, like it's a little bit raised. That's actually because this part of my tooth is actually fake. Me and my brother, when we were young, we were playing and I hit my mouth on the car and had to get like a fake piece put in there, and it's just lasted. But yeah, you can kind of see there is some crowding and it's like quite narrow in here. Oh, I can make it bigger and kind of see a little bit more. You can actually see the overbite when I zoom in a little bit. And then I can just see the upper. And can you guys see like a little bit more now how that front bit is raised? And then you can see the lower, and you can actually see how these two are a little bit twisted. You can see it that way. So good. Oh my gosh. Do you see that? How gnarly is that? That's what it looks like from the side, where you can really see how this front one is going forward. Isn't that crazy? And you can also see how things aren't lining up. And then there's that way. And then let's look at the other side. This side I feel like isn't as bad, but what do I know? But again, you can see that front bit again, how it's like just sticking forward, and it's actually just getting worse with time, I've noticed. And then that's the bottom, and then you can really see those two there. So that's what this is the before. And then you guys, this is what everything is projecting to somewhat look like. Now, I've been told that this might change. I have to wait to hear back from Invisalign, but this is what it's projecting to look like. So this is what it would look like dead on. That's what it would look like, the bottom teeth from the top. Now look at that. Isn't that a bit better than it is now? And then that's the front view, that's the other view, and then I think this, the top. No like discrepancies there. So how cool is that? So as I mentioned, obviously I have to wait to hear back from Invisalign so they can confirm that's what this treatment will really look like. And from there, we'll kind of know how long the treatment will be. I think they said it might be around 6 months, but give or take. Also, I don't know if you noticed, but on that after picture, there is a gap in my teeth. And I was like, oh my gosh, am I gonna have a gap? And they were saying it's because of the piece of fake tooth that I have on. And then they're just gonna actually file that down a little bit. And then I should be able to like get my teeth closer together, because I actually cannot picture myself with a gap in my teeth at all. So it was really kind of cool to hear that they can rectify that as well. Anyways guys, that is it for this video. If you are in the Bristol and surrounding area and you are looking for a dentist or ortho surgery, I am going to leave the details of where I've gone in the description box of this video. And if you are in Bristol and surrounding area and you are anxious about going to the dentist like I am, I highly would recommend these guys, because honestly they have been so, I don't know if nurturing is the right word, but patient with me and nurturing. And although I am still a little bit anxious with it, I'm not as anxious as I was. I know it's like kind of silly to think like it's just the dentist, it's something that should be a walk in the park, but from my DMs I have talked to quite a few of you guys and you have the same anxiety about the dentist too. So anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. Leave me some comments or send me some DMs if you had any questions about what I'm getting done, and yeah, I guess I'll see you in my next one. Bye.